It was always windiest at night. Tommy hated the night. As he sat leaning his back against the door having a smoke, Tommy could hear all the chatter of the cooks cleaning up for the night. Tommy had finished his station early, much like other nights, and was simply killing time out in the cold winter wind. As Tommy went to flick his cigarette down the alley, an odd smell passed by his nose. Normally pungent spoiled food and trash filled his nostrils, but a sweet perfume like that of fresh lavender. Intrigued by this new smell, he wandered a bit further into the alley, trying to find its source. He jumped as his eyes suddenly stopped on a young girl in the middle of the alley, as if she'd been standing there the whole time. Hello? He asked as he looked her up and down. The girl seemed plain enough. What appeared to be a school uniform was clean, and her smile was warm. As he finished looking her up, he stopped for a moment on her eyes. They resembled pools of liquid emerald with small flakes of gold glimmering through them. He was captivated, beautiful, and yet something else he couldn't put his finger on bothered him. Are you all right? He stammered. The girl simply looked at him with those beautiful eyes. Tommy slowly approached the girl, not wanting to scare her. The last thing he needs is someone asking why he attacked a girl in a dark alley. However, as he stepped forward, she gracefully stepped away from him. "You're pretty," she said in a soft voice, seeming much younger than she looked. "Don't be afraid," she said. "They won't hurt you anymore." The girl's giggle that followed sent chills up Tommy's spine, which quickly turned to surprise as behind the girl stood a man who towered over the young girl. Tommy was no slouch, standing a good 6 feet, but this man seemed to tower above him. His coat blended into the shadows themselves as if was part of them. The alley almost seemed to darken at his presence, and Tommy felt a fear he'd never felt before, not of death, but the primal fear that prey feel when they encounter a predator. He sank back deeper into the alley, his eyes tearing up as he felt death upon him. The shadow of the man moved through the alley, blocking the small light from the kitchen, and just as quickly as the darkness appeared, it was gone. Tommy stood in the alley for what seemed an eternity. He was alone, his eyes filled with tears. The girl was gone, just like that. What just happened? Was it a dream? The wind suddenly picked up, sending chills down his body. It was then that he noticed the urine-drenched jeans he had worn. When did that happen? Who was that girl? Tommy wondered why he was so cold. Even his chest was cold. Looking down, he could only think sarcastically. Mom had always said girls would be the death of me. The winds passed through the alley of the city, weaving through the streets, unhindered by the cold. It passes over a black car with a girl staring out at it in wonder. It swirls around an old wolf staring at the moon. It flows over the body in an alley staring at nothing.